Howdy. Keep forgetting to turn off this damn alarm. I'm trying really hard not to curse as much. Howdy. Oh man. It's freaking cold out here, dude. Copy strike. Are you in reference to a really old video? Because I don't think I've ever gotten a copyright strike on YouTube. I had years ago, and I'm not proud of this, but I'm more than okay enough with the person I am today admitting the wrongs of the past. Yeah, I made a really stupid, edgy video. On all these. Yeah, right. I made a video the day it was announced that Michael Jackson had died. And it was a very negative video, let's say. But this is before I actually ever took a moment to actually enjoy any of his music as an artist. I was just going off of, shit that you hear, so I wasn't a fan of him. But what the hell did I know, right? Anyway, it's hard to say, but I made a very negative video, and it was up for years on YouTube, and it got a lot of hate whenever people did see it because people, that was an artist that they liked, right? Eventually the video got taken down for like hate speech or something stupid. I wouldn't, it was a negative video. It was critical of me not caring at the time, but anyway, but that's like the only really thing I've ever gotten. I've had other people try to upload my shit, which is really strange because I made very niche stuff like TaskRabbit and independent contractor stuff, but someone had tried to rip one of my videos and re-upload it, and thanks to Content ID, I got notified of it. But it was really bizarre. It's that these people that do these things that rip other people's content, they don't care where it comes from. They'll take and it's like I said, it doesn't make sense for someone to try to rip my content and make money off of it, unless like they're trying to promote something in the realm of independent contractor stuff. Because there's a lot of scams involved with that type of stuff. Back when I used to work with like TaskRabbit and what was it? Ooh, there was a bunch that I worked for that I don't really... Oh, Handy was one I worked on. Which Handy was, of all the independent contractor things, Handy and Tackle, I hated so badly because some of these independent contractor apps because not all of them are food delivery, right? I've hired like Wrench before, which is like mobile mechanics. And those are independent contractors that, they hire out that are mechanics and stuff. And it's useful. Like I've had it to where my old car, I needed a new alternator on it, but I couldn't drive the car, so it was stuck in my driveway. So obviously I couldn't take it to a mechanic, so being able to have the ability to get a mechanic to me was really cool. Sorry if I'm a little today. An actual craftsman. Well, I wouldn't necessarily call myself a craftsman. I was more of like a handyman. A lot of my adult life outside of the military has kind of been spent just being a jack of all trades, just trying to kind of figure out what I can do. I got into HVAC because of an email, and it turns out the school I went to was essentially a scam. I did get my universal EPA license with a 608. I got that, and that was legitimate, but I mean, they were basically siphoning money from vets. So it was a school called Retail Ready Career Center, and this place, wow, this place was rough. And even while I went there, I mean, I guess I could just start from the beginning. I haven't talked about this in years. Actually, yeah, that's actually I give me a second. I'm gonna get some water for this. I'll be right back. to an interesting start. Okay, so Retail Ready Career Center. I think kind of as I like tell the lore, I'll try to pull up any information. It's defunct now, and it went out in a kind of disastrous fashion. So, yeah, because it's well, for one, it's part of it's the lighting. So if I were to like have this lighting, it's not very good, but it's gonna keep the camera in focus. No, it's probably not. It's just some dog shit fucking Razer webcam. It's sorry, but you know, working with what I got. Where was I? Yeah, so Retail Ready Career Center. I was in college at the time, and my girlfriend was pregnant, and that I've always kind of been like, ooh, I'm having another kid, let's go. But you know, I gotta kind of like, it was at the time in my life where I really shouldn't be having other kids, right? Yeah, way too much. Yeah, it's all blown out. I could probably adjust and move the light, but regardless, it's too much. But I got the Christmas lights up here, so yeah. I mean, they're good well, the thing is about these Christmas lights is that they're LED ones. If I sit still, they're fine, but if I like move around, there's like this weird flickering, whatever. Anyway, I get distracted too easily. Retail Ready Career Center. So, I was in college at the time, and really shouldn't have been having other kids, but I was trying to figure out my life. It was a weird time in my life. Like, whew. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out like, well, what am I gonna do? Like, this semester's wrapping up. You know, I was working at the movie theater at the time in Irvine, and it's like, like my main focus was school, but the internships I had gone for in Irvine, like there was an internship at Blizzard, didn't end up getting that, which was really rough because I wanted to work in the games industry, but in public relations and like marketing and stuff. Like that was like the overall goal. Well, not so much marketing. I was going for a communications degree, hoping to get up with a public relations company. Like that was the ultimate goal. But that, you know, just didn't work out because a lot of the internships I went to were like not super legitimate. First off, you don't get paid. They require your time. And then when you're there, they don't really teach you anything. So yeah, the internships were rough, and it was like, I don't know, like, this is what I want to do. This is the industry I want to get into. Like, but how do I even start? Like, it's just so, like, hard just trying to figure it out. But, so, and the semester's winding down, and I'm trying to figure out, like, well, what am I going to do? Like, all these internships are, like, dog shit, and I'm not making any career progress, and obviously I need to be able to work, but at the same time, like, like any job is fine, like I need money, but ideally a job that would lead me down the path of the direction I wanted to go was what I was hoping for, you know, or at least something. Ultimately, so I got an email, and it was really random, and it looked like spam. Like this email looked like spam, but I was like really questionable of it, and it was talking about a school in Texas yeah, so, and the school was for HVAC. It was to teach people to become HVAC techs. And, you know, at this point in time, I'm desperate. Like, I'm trying to, like, because, like, I had been going on, like, job, Indeed, all this stuff. And that's where they ended up finding me. They found me because I had my resume on Indeed. And you got to remember, I have, like, my actual working life, nothing in that realm. Like, nothing HVAC tech, nothing infrastructure related, right? So I'm like, whatever, because I have done like stuff, manual labor and like stuff, but I've never done anything technical like that. It was like, if anything, if my interests were like more so like in like sitting in an office working, not, you know. But yeah, so I get this email and I respond to it because I'm desperate. I'm like, well, it seems to be an option, and the school will take the VA thing. The school doesn't last for super long, and if I could get done with the school and get licensed, like the Universal EPA, I can actually get a job, and HVAC guys make pretty decent money out in California, you know? So I was like, you know, it should be a win-win, and, you know, like, I gotta do something with my life. So I go to this, I sign up, go to this school. I think it was like It was like a month and a half. It was relatively short. Like they condensed a year's worth of program into like a very, very, very short time. It was like I said, like a month and a half. Fly out to Texas, go and do the school, and I have several stories of my time physically there, but I don't want to get off on the weeds on that. But there was a lot of signs that, wait a minute, this place probably isn't what I'm expecting it to be. Like there were some red flags while it was there, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it because I just needed to fucking survive. I needed a job, and this was a path to get a job because this, I guess the school like would help you so that by the time you left, you already had interviews for when you went back home. So like the school would like basically lobby with employees on your behalf, which I thought was really cool. And I ended up getting a job with Calca Heating and Air. Ultimately, that was an interesting company to work for. No ill will towards them or anything, because it's just the nature of the beast. But having been in the residential HVAC industry, it's kind of disgusting how they make their money. The main priority is on like selling as opposed to just, you know, working. So, and that's the thing for someone like me, I'm a terrible salesman because it's like I can't rationalize selling someone something that they don't need. And it's really hard when your entire like way you make money is based off commission. And didn't know this going in. I, you know, was thinking I'd probably get with like some company working on commercial stuff, right? Which seems a little bit like for me that makes a little bit more sense, but going to like individual families and trying to rip them off was rough. But like working with companies, I'm gonna throw some gouge coins. It's like I that's the thing, man. It's like I can't do it. Like I just it's something that's like I wouldn't want it done to me. I absolutely hate any type of salesman whatsoever. It's like even when we first moved here, before like, you know, a lot of the things in the market got crazy, we wanted solar. We thought we would add that. Thank God we didn't. But like even that, like trying to get like solar, like I wanted to talk to actual people that were technical, people that like could talk about like the science of it and how it would really affect things moving forward. And that was like the best way to convince me of anything is to, you know, if someone's informed. But when we had people come out, like they were all salesmen, and it's like, you know, like they didn't really know all the technical elements. Like they knew like enough of their script, and they had this program where they just put in the calculations and then it gives you a rough estimate. And it's like, that's great and everything, but what can you actually tell me? Like how are we really going to benefit from the solar panels? How is it going to give us our offset and stuff? And then every single time when I do the math with them, and I'm like, yeah, you got to understand, I'm going to be paying more. Woo! Thanks for the 99 cents. I told him, like, dude, wait, what? I'm going to be paying more with this. Like, even when you include, like, the offset of generating the electricity versus what I would pay to the grid, it's like, even when you factor all that in, because of, like, how everything is structured like it's a loan, and that's the thing, a lot of these solar companies, they're really sketchy. Like, they just want to sign you up no matter what. I mean, there's tons of examples of these companies screwing people off, not doing what's in the contract, or having really shitty terms in the contract, you know. And knowing all this ahead of time and then feeling like some type of way with these people, I was like, no. And they're also really pushy. When you tell them no, they don't like hearing no. So they try every tactic to try to get you to say. And it's like, then you have to have that awkward thing. It's like, look, I don't know how many times I can say no, so how about this? Get the fuck out of my house or I call the cops. Like, because as of right now, I'm considering you trespassing. Because I've already told, like, because I've just said leave, and then here's my, like, double down of, like, fuck off. And the thing is, I hate getting like that because I know that these are humans too. But then at the same time, it's like, because I've been in the shoes in a role like that, and I wouldn't push, I wouldn't budge. I would give my spiel. If someone said no, I wouldn't try to fucking convince them otherwise. I'll be like, totally understand, you know? And because I don't want to be pushy like that, because I hate when that's pushy on me. But, so, and here's the interesting part. So without going into the too much detail in the school, while I was there, several months after, I can't remember exactly. Federal judge convicted Jonathan Dean Davis, 43-year-old owner of Retail Acres, and on 7 counts of wire fraud. So this is what this guy did. The guy that basically ran the school, right? He basically knew that the VA is guaranteed money. So he designed a trade school where people could learn how to do HVAC, get their licensing, which I'm gonna be straight up, like 100% of everything I learned at that school, you can literally learn on the job as an initial helper with installers. You know, like I could have saved myself a ton of money if I would have just said, hey, I don't screw this. I'm gonna go start off being a helper, being an installer, learning the basics, get my universal EPA thing, and then I can go and be a tech. Very simply, because you know what, it's like it's so dumb because the school basically siphoned every last bit of my fucking VA benefits. And you got to remember, they took like a year's worth of program and condensed it down, and so you're not there for very long, but they charge you as if you are. So what ended up happening was one day, and this is, I'm already off in wherever in the world, and the school's been defunct, right? I'm off in California. I'm living my life at this time. So so what they do is they get kids from all over the country, right? And they mainly focus on vets. So over like 98%, like literally they had very, very few, like you could probably count them on one or two hands, students that were actually like just standardized civilians, never had any military experience. Very, very few of those people went to this school because why would you? It's such an incredibly bad deal. It's incredibly expensive for what it is, like incredibly. So yeah, most normal people aren't going to want to go to a trade school like this because it's a horrible deal. But when you're a vet and you're not considering and having to flip the bill, it's a lot easier for those people to like line up and go to one of these schools. So they fly kids out from all over the country, right? And then they make them stay at this hotel and they bus them back and forth every morning to the school, right? Well, one morning, not just the students, but the staff, because here's the interesting thing, none of the staff were actually employees. Everyone that worked there, and the only person that was on the payroll was the school's lawyer, but 100% of all the other staff, all like from instructors to, you know, the people that work in the office part of it, that like, you know, work on getting, you know, people, they get to the school one day and it's locked, completely locked out. They can't get in. And it turns out the school was closed. The reason why it was closed was because the state of Texas was really pissed off at them. And then even the VA, because they were basically granted the opportunity to operate while they were waiting for like their final accreditation or whatever. But one of the things that they kept failing was the fact that most of their students were veterans. And there's a reason why there's like essentially a cap on how many of your students can be vets versus how many can be, and that's because they know people will game the system. Oh no, close the door. Oh, that was the final test, sweet. Yeah, but like it was so the dude got in a lot of trouble, and he was making a ton of money because, you know, you say it's a year-long school, but you condense it down, so the VA has to pay out a year's worth of benefits within 6 weeks because it's so condensed, because it's all at once. So they got the money relatively quick, and they were constantly cycling kids out. So they had overlapping classes. So you would go in while one class was finishing up, and then as you were going through, another class would come in. And each class of I want to say kids because I was in my 20s at the time, but you know, each class of people, it was hundreds of people at a time. So they were just cycling through people and just like getting money. Happy victory and celebration now. Yeah, so it was like, that was like one of the first red flags that like that really like I was like, oh my god, like what the hell. But you know, you don't really focus on it too much when you're in it. You know, it's when you take a step back and you look at, you know, the big picture, like, yeah, that place was a little weird, whatever. But then, like, when they went tits up and they closed, like, the guy got arrested. He got, you know, convicted for wire fraud because they were defrauding the federal government, right? Because they had way too many of their students were veterans. And, you know, they don't like, you know, government doesn't like that because it's obviously a way to game the system. Because, yeah, the GI Bill has great benefits that are guaranteed to be paid. and schools do like that, but the government doesn't like, schools basically only catering to that one program. Fraud doesn't last once discovered. Oh, for sure. Well, I didn't do nothing. The federal government did. But anyway, so yeah, the school went tits up, and then I remember when I moved from Vegas, or from California to Vegas, that was really rough because it was in the winter, so not a lot of HVAC places were hiring at the time, but which was fine. I could probably stretch it out till spring and survive. But the biggest thing was anywhere that I did get hired or interviewed at, they wouldn't look at my school at all because the school closed. And it's like, well, technically it doesn't exist anymore, so they wouldn't even consider it. So I don't know. It was just a weird, difficult time in my life. Your story needs to be told. Nah. This is nothing. This is just an experience. It's not like an ordeal I went through. I was one of the lucky ones because there was people that it was their class, and they get there and everything's locked up. They had no way of getting home, and they take people from all over the country. So I flew in from California. You had people flying in from Maine, Montana, the Dakotas, over in Florida, Georgia, people from all over the country that are all coming here to make a better life for themselves and get into an industry that's in demand. So yeah, and it was really scummy. And then the worst part is, it's because the school closed, we could never really use that as oh, this is the school I went to. Oh, we mean the school that's closed? So it hurts us as far as our career goes. And so it's basically we went there for nothing. We basically paid $18,000 to go to a school just for our universal EPA card, which the test only costs $100 to do. I wonder if I could take. No, it's a long test though. I was going to say we did practice tests on it all the time, and I haven't taken the test in obviously years. I don't need to take it again, but I'm curious if I would pass again. But then again, it's a lengthy test, even the practice test. So I don't even want to even entertain it. Well, at least your kids know the right way now. I mean, they're still little, so I'll teach them what I can as they get older. Don't know how long I'm streaming for. It was really cold this morning, so that's why I was pushing to come out until the sun came up a bit more. But I don't know how long I'm gonna do this for, because ideally it would be a lot sooner, but like I said, didn't want to get out of the house this morning. This is a lot more mellow, man. Yeah, I don't know exactly what time, this whole stream thing, this is the first week of me at least attempting to do all this stuff. So I'm just kind of taking it easy for what it is. I'll probably, I might not be agitating for long, so I can get a good vibe. At least it's been educational. I mean, I guess I don't really see any educational value in what I just said. I was just telling a story, but it is. I mean, I guess for anything, it's no matter what you do in the world, there's gonna be someone that's gonna try to take advantage of you. It's a big world and there's a lot of people, but it's in almost every little crack and crevice of our society, there's people that want to monetize, in some sort of scammy way. What's short material? That was word salad. That was almost some Camilla shit. I was saying nice things because they sound nice, as opposed to them actually having any contextual wisdom via struggle. Oh yeah, I guess. So the Opus clips I used for shorts, it's nice, it's useful. I don't after putting a lot of the clips out, there's a couple things that I've noticed. One is that I kind of say a lot of the same things because through different streams when I went in to make shorts, and that's because the nature of this type of stream, when you have people coming in and out, they're gonna say off the wall stuff, but it usually is all the same thing. That's why it does get boring with the I will argue with anyone about anything. So as much as I liked this when I was younger, I might switch up because I like this, but I don't know. It's like replacing your alternator, but you use the word salad argument, current literature. What? I'm gonna figure. I like the, like, what was I saying? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I remember when I was younger and I did the argument. It's like, but like, I don't want to be so negative, you know. And I think that an environment like that perpetuates things being negative. Dude, you are getting it 100%. That must be Harris's like goal because she leaves people like that all the time. She said some. Hold on. I have to say this out loud. Look, look, man. I know she's human, just like the rest of us, but you know, she could put her big girl pants on and, take the L. So, she had this really confusing. Come on, can you load? Really confusing word salad. Like, because we're used to Harris saying some off the wall things that make absolutely zero sense, but this is just the latest. Where's the word salad? All right, because I'm just reading this article. Okay, this Yahoo News, your article sucks. The actual quote, I'm looking for the actual verbatim words that she said, and I'll read it out. Oh my god, dude, all these news sites suck, all these fucking ads. Like, literally, it's like this, what is it, the Hindustan Times? Okay, so this is the verbatim words that she said, which make no sense. It's critically important that, to the extent you can find anything that gives you an ability to be patient in this extremely dangerous and unprecedented crisis, that you do. I'm pretty sure what she's trying to say is, right now we need to be patient. And then continuing on with whatever thought for, emphasizing why we should be patient and the potential outcomes of being patient. That's usually how you would frame something like that. That makes no sense. It's like a lot of filler words that sound nice, but, to her, they phonetically sound good. They sound good in her head, so it's like, oh, that'll sound good out loud. And then you say it, and it's just like this inane run-on sentence that goes nowhere, and it's like, you say more with less. But, ugh. Man, I'm feeling it, man. I need to eat breakfast, that's for sure. What's my main response is always /B. It's good. Yeah, I need to eat, man. I don't know if that's that medicine or what, but my stomach's killing me. It's critically important that you said that you find it gives you the ability to be patient, extremely dangerous, but I said that you do. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's too much. Just say, hey, we need to be patient right now. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll probably end up streaming earlier tomorrow since it's Saturday, but yeah, it was just real chilly this morning. None of us wanted to get out of bed. As always, I'm your so glorious, beloved Mace Valor, signing off.